has to be a 5-inch pour instead of a 4-inch pour. I'm like, what
They didn't fucking measure it?
I mean, the people doing it will, but it's like, what the hell? Why does the city think that, you know, like, they should have a bigger pour than the standard pour?
And worse yet, I've seen how much their streets last, so I'm guessing it's like a 2-inch pour.
Hey, Rob.
Assholes.
Rob, you're not plugged into the right thing for charging.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, plug it in the bottom. That's why it keeps me on. Thank you. Yeah, one charge.
So what happens when you try to run the game?
By the way.
But I can show you.
Just give me a second. I'll just check a few
So
You have 2 C ports, but only one will charge from
mail
it.
call.
Yeah, that Atari.
See,
the only thing it does is
click
charge. You
past
can't do
it,
shit
see
with
the bird
it.
fly away. You see the door
Fucking
open.
annoying.
You see Luigi standing there. And then
Yeah,
crashes.
so I'm adjusting where I'm going to
Does
put
the
a
exact
game
same thing
system.
that
I'm
Rob
going to
said
spread
before.
game
I don't know
systems
yet.
out around
Yes.
my system.
I don't know that it works at all.
I used to consolidate them, now I'm going to spread them out.
Oh,
Right?
well,
So there's going to be
he
few
says he
over
doesn't
here,
know
there's
if it
going to be few
works.
over there, few over there. So
I knew it was
when
on
they
the
put
living
his
room
in
is
mine,
going to
it
feature
crashes.
2 boxes.
I tried removing
It's going to
one of
feature
the programs.
the
I tried
retro
taking off
shooter
the other program,
Good.
having
and
this
the
program
Atari.
on.
Yeah, nice.
Try the game now.
Who doesn't love the Atari?
Yeah.
I mean, reviewers,
Okay,
but
so
still.
back,
Fuck
back.
no.
Well, the new TV in there is not 3D, so the 3D Blu-ray don't need to be there. So it should probably go where the Blu-ray TV, where the 3D
Yeah.
TV is, and such things. I think I spend a lot of time. I spend more time moving TVs around,
Load,
video game
start,
systems around, and
move.
setting them up than playing them.
I think that
They're
in
like,
this
yeah!
group, I think in this group that's probably true. You play
Yeah.
like one game, you go, yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. And then,
And it's like,
then the next time I do anything with it is me moving it to someplace else and doing the same thing.
Yeah. I just put in just one letter.
I'm just
And
looking
then
for the ideal
you put in
setup.
one
and with my
thing,
high-end
it's okay.
stuff, it's like,
And it's
I
okay.
cook it up, run an update,
So you put in
get it up to date,
anything,
play a
click,
game, and
okay,
then,
I'll
that's
accept
it. Never play it again.
Files created.
Today on G2B, we're
hit
going
play
to
on it.
explore the
So hit
feng shui of
acknowledge.
game system setup.
You want to start this out?
Yes.
I
See,
do
I had
wanna
this
start this
ColecoVision,
file.
and that fucker.
Thank you very much. We'll go
It'll
through
work.
this. And he'll drop the mail.
Actually, it's dropping
Mail.
it.
Is feng
Okay.
shui
Mail
setup
call,
negatively
you gotta push the
affected
button 'cause it's
by
He
SD
goes
card
away.
hacks?
Yeah, door opens. Crash.
What's you aren't putting anything in. You're not really closing the lid. You're not. You know, it's no fun.
If I
Even
wanted
the
to get
smallest.
really upset
There's
about
no
this, I could
anticipatory
time this
moment of
perfectly to where I
Firing
could
up
marry
because
it
it's just right there.
without even looking at it.
This is like, by the way, and this should be actually easy emulation for it.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it's a hard game.
So is it the version of Paper Mario that they use that maybe has a
Oh yeah, I didn't buy that yet.
on the ROM?
I don't think so because
Because they
it works
mass
on
burn
yours.
these fuckers.
It works
no,
on
it
yours.
doesn't necessarily.
Oh.
I don't know that.
Hey,
If
I
I'm
don't
trying
think
to
you
charge
Try
it,
it on
you have to
yours,
go.
Rob.
Well, I would,
See if it
but
does the
my
exact same thing
goddamn
on
Hey
yours.
head.
look,
Power
Tegan
up.
and
It's
Jackson
okay,
are
Rob.
someplace.
Hey!
Again.
They're
What's
back.
the
They're back. They got
Oh,
back to
Yeah, I get messages of like, hey, Tegan Dunk has been, and I'm like, I'm not even friends with her on this.
They're back. Okay, so wait till he tries his because it may not be your system. It may
So
be
you're
that
off
Rob.
dog duty?
Now I can try 15.
Yeah, we're off dog duty.
Yeah, I don't have to be back right away, so.
I don't know if
You
anybody
need
else
to
had
check
posted
stuff
this
out
earlier.
and-
Did
Well,
anybody
he
else?
needs to let that charge a little
Yeah,
more.
it's gonna need to
And
charge
have
because
the
it's
time?
dead.
About
Awesome.
noon, I was thinking,
Otherwise,
man, it smells like
It's dead,
spring
dead.
out.
I'll let you know when it comes back up.
otherwise,
It's okay.
I will.
Because if it's a new ROM, I'm gonna have to download it and go look for it.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
Oh, our AC went out again in the server room. So also,
Did all your systems shut down?
no. What's interesting
Ours
though
would.
is our alert system send out alerts, but for our cell phones, for our text message, no one got any of them.
Really?
Oh, fuck me.
Are you using
But
text
they went out.
to-
I pulled it up in the logs. in exchange, the messages went out.
Were you using email to text?
I do.
Because 2 companies have shut down their email to text systems.
T-Mobile still allows it.
And I think Verizon's one of them.
They shut it down, yeah.
Shut it down.
Hell.
And we lost a bunch. It's like, mother.
That
Bastards.
Ooh, that looks nice. That almost.
So
I'd
Let's take it
almost
back.
say that looks.
take it back.
my boss just luckily
Warhammer, but
went into the email on his phone to check
it's
something.
got-
The
it might be
email
a
alerts went
Warhammer.
through, and he's like,
It's
"Oh
like
shit!"
Like Chaos Marine.
What the
It went
hell?
out Friday night, and he didn't get there till Saturday.
Ooh, fuck.
Ugh.
It was like 95 degrees.
Yeah,
in the
you know, it might be
server room.
Warhammer
Oh, hell
inspired.
no.
You're right. It's got some differences there.
But it
Looks like a Warhammer.
this happened like
yeah,
6 months
that,
ago
that
too.
looks inspired.
And we
by
had a
it.
portable AC unit still in the server
Oh, so
room.
you just.
Cracked the door open,
I
had
know
the
what it
tube
is.
outside.
So it's a.
We have our backup.
it's a-
We have a backup
it's a
one in there. That's
chaos
supposed to turn on. Never does.
demon.
It's like anytime the
That's been
air goes out.
outfitted.
Nah.
It is, and I'm like
with
3 feet away from the
augmented
door.
machine parts.
So all day just.
And it fused like cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our
But they
dehumidifier
died in
only
that
works half the
position.
time.
I was about to say that ain't no help.
Fortunately, we have barely anything left
because
in there, so I don't
Yeah,
worry
we don't
about
have
it
ton of
anymore.
stuff either.
it's not organic enough. That's gotta
Nothing
be
important
like
there.
you know, a Zeech chaos.
It's a mix
Our
of
stuff in there is
organic,
important,
like
like our
Darth
entire
Vader.
database that
Yeah.
we need to run our company.
Okay, so that's important. That would be something you wouldn't want.
Yeah.
What percentage of
But he said
machine
so
was
like
Darth
you could just
Vader?
smell the warm electronic smell in there, and it's like I
Both
know what you're
ways.
talking about.
One hand. And
Look at the
smell
full
of
legs.
fresh
It was cut off at the
electronics.
knees.
I guess it wasn't
Like
the
the
Yeah,
parts
he
would
still
be like
had his thighs
400 to
there.
fix it.
It's
Going
cancerous.
like this.
Yeah, no, like ours is hooked
So,
to our main
you know.
system, but it's zoned. And then we've got a backup one, the fucking backup one. We've never had it actually work when it needed to. It's never
they-
worked.
Do you think when they added legs to
Terrible.
Darth Vader, they made him a little taller than he was?
hell yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's nice having a portable AC unit. It's
Make
like
those femurs a little
it
longer.
goes up, just turn
Just
that
keep
on.
it on, yeah. So
I mean, it's not
you keep
perfect.
it on all the time and just have it on standby, you know, and you're ready when it gets to a certain temperature.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So like last day, 2 days, like it's been like 80 degrees in there. Not terrible.
No, that's manageable.
I mean, until
It
you
doesn't
get
make you
fixed.
happy, but
No, but
But
I
that's
like it
also
cool.
ambient room temperature. The portable AC is pointing at a fan that's pointing right at the servers, so they're probably cooler than the actual room. But yeah, it's like 1200 circuit board at the AC company only had one in the entire company that were rush shipping, and then also probably in the next year to look at maybe replacing the entire AC unit. I mean, it's been running continuously for 13 years.
I might have to quit this camping group that I'm in. I'm like, I want to just like de-winterize my camper and run away.
wow.
As I was winterizing it, I was even like,
Maybe I could just go
I don't
somewhere
want to
warm.
do this. I just want to go. I want to go camp somewhere. Let's just go live somewhere for a
There's,
little while.
there's those winter camper people.
there are.
There are winter campers.
Well, you know, I went to I
Technically,
would
you
just-
can with yours.
Now, Denise, I got in from winterizing, and Denise like, well, where do you want to go next spring? And I'm like, I don't know. So we're talking about, and this is a bit of a trek. So we have to find a window of about 6-7 weeks, realistically,
Wow,
to make
okay.
it nice, to really make it nice. Santa Fe.
Ooh.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Okay. What exactly do you have to do for winterizing an RV?
Mostly you got to get the water out of it. So you drain all the water out of it, then you blow all the water out of it, just in case there's anything left, and then you put antifreeze in all the tubes.
Okay.
All right, we should probably get this mess started.
And you pull the battery,
Uh-huh.
and make sure any other fluids or anything that you might have had in there all the time, detergents, soaps, anything like that might get wrecked when it's 0 degrees.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
you pull that in, a bug spray, stuff
Anything.
like that.
You basically got to empty it out.
You basically gotta empty it out. Because if you leave those canisters and stuff in there and stuff, they're not gonna really do much damage, but they won't be any good.
Yeah.
You know, just
So-
they'll lose whatever they are.
Well, this
Yeah,
is
so you don't
translating
need to
you
take the-
perfectly.
Very perfectly.
You don't need to take out the oil.
Larry's got that
Yeah.
perfectly translatable voice.
This thing's getting you dead on.
Well,
I was gonna say
He's talking
you don't
camper.
take oil out of it.
There's
Exactly, because that's not gonna be a thing.
Well,
there's
spend
no
the whole
oil.
episode doing this.
It's a trailer,
Okay.
so there's no oil in it, but and I want to put a cover on it, for the winter, and I want to put a bunch of something to defend against, to discourage mice, and it turns out
Dryer sheets.
Dryer-
A bunch of
smelly
Thomas
ones.
Taylor.
Yes.
badly made ones. The cheapest you can find are the smelliest, and you put those in all over the place, and the mice do not like.
When we moved
You
her,
put in a nice smelling like bounce, and they'll
You
be
don't
like,
like that.
that's fine.
when we
Cinnamon
moved to our
as
current
well?
place, I misplaced
Like
one of my
Chinese
bags of
ass
clothes
sheets.
Yeah.
out in the garage. I'd actually left it out there
Yeah.
for 2 years. Didn't
Whoa.
even know it was there. It had come out of the dryer, had a bunch of dryer sheets in it. Anything cloth that was out there, the mice tore up. We had a bag of food that got mixed up from the
Right.
pantry, tore to shit and everything. That bag was fucking touched.
All right, Larry, there you go. The
They
people are right,
they
man.
don't like that smell.
They don't like that smell.
It just smells unnatural.
People
Yeah.
do too. It's like they have a car vehicle. That's
Yeah,
got
put
something
those
on
in
that. Put those in that. We'll keep them away. Keep chewing wires
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah, I mean, so I got to get those in there. So that's about the only thing left I really have to do is put that in the cover on it, and it'll look good.
Yeah, I love that group. I belong to that one. Yeah.
I never,
Of course I
never
do.
stuck the antenna up.
That's our stuff, man.
In the first place.
Oh,
So.
I told you I got that new big 3D printer, like really big 3D printer. I got a,
It's a big.
I already have. I got an Ender 5P, the 5 Pro. And
These are pretty big shit.
400 by 400 by
Here's
400.
Larry for a beer.
That's pretty big.
There he goes.
That's
He's getting a beer.
monstrous.
He's getting a beer. He's getting a beer. There goes Larry getting a
So
beer.
my first test print took about 52 hours.
I figured. Yeah, something nice and long.
I wanted to see, and that wasn't the biggest it could print.
What'd you print?
I printed a vase first,
Okay.
and then I just finished a sugar skull.
Are you sure you didn't print a vase?
It could have been a vase.
Was it classy enough to be a vase?
Yeah, it really is classic. It could be a vase. But, and it wasn't even as big as it could print. It took 52 effing hours. Again, like I cannot stress that up, man. 3D printing is just not fast. Not even on a good day. Let's just do that some estate sales. Guy had a whole bunch of 3D printing equipment. So 3 3D printers, a resin printer, a wash and cure
Damn.
station, a whole bunch of like electronics.
How are the prices?
$200 for all of it.
Oh my god.
I got an Ender CR10,
Oh
which
my
is another
god.
big one.
I'm sickened.
An Ender 5 Pro, big one, and then I got an Ender 3 Pro. And got all. No, dude. If you would have seen the condition these were when I got them, and then I also got the.
I don't care.
What's that? I'm trying to think of the not creativity, the little the smaller resin printer. I have a big resin printer at the office. Now I've got a nice little one at home, but the shit was filthy. It was half taken apart.
You do need more
I do
pedestrian.
need to get more beer.
I spent
Pedestrian
like, I
beer.
spent like
Yeah.
3 weeks putting it all back together.
Ham,
I'm assuming that's why it was such a good
Ham,
deal. It's like
sure.
you're gonna have to really go
hams.
into these.
Oh yeah, I mean if you would
Maybe
have looked
some
at this
hams.
shit, it had leaves in it and shit, dude. It was like, what the?
Live from the.
Oh. Oh.
Fine.
I gotta switch.
Oh.
There we go.
Waiting to kill.
Why is that on? Wait. Wait, let's try that again. Live from the 604 basement of the Guys Games and Beer Tower. It's the podcast with all the Halloweenies. Guys, Games, and Beer.
Yeah!
For the second
Happy,
time.
happy Halloween.
The Yeti was off. Remember we...
Oh, that's right.
Happy Halloween.
Silver Shamrock. That's so
So hey, it is Halloween week, and we are going to try this again. Well, no, wait a minute.
Take two.
It was decoding his voice, so it couldn't have been off.
It was off.
Oh, weird. All right, well, whatever. Okay, so hey,
Now it's there. You can
Rob,
see it
now,
there.
now that it's the week of Halloween. In fact, it's like 2 days from Halloween, man. So we had everybody did their Halloween parties last weekend, of course. So that was cool.
Well, the adults did. They all got crazy, and the children looked at them like,
Nice.
"What are you doing?"
Hey, the
you
slutty
know,
garbage can is
yeah.
the best costume ever.
Yeah.
So just
Slutty
saying.
Groucho.
So yes. Oh,
Slutty this, slutty
any
that.
Muppet. Whenever you do any sexy Muppet, it's just wrong.
I know.
You
yeah.
s- I
Still
saw
not
sexy,
sure.
sexy Muppet.
I saw
Still
a
not-
sexy yip. You know the aliens
Yeah.
that go yip.
Yeah.
It was just a person wearing the outfit with like
Like leggings.
fishnet leggings
What
and
is
like.
what?
I know.
Who thought that? What?
And I
I
just
know,
went, you're giving me such complex. To quote Alistair in Helsing Ultimate Abriv, yes, the return of the Y boner.
Why?
I kind of feel that about with the sexy stormtrooper and sexy Darth Vader.
Okay.
I'm okay with them. I have a problem with
No.
childhood memories.
Yeah, well, that was a childhood memory too.
Because, I mean, you had the Princess Leia thing going on.
No.
You know what?
Yeah.
That makes it worse. In a
Makes
way,
it better.
it's sexy your childhood.
Hey, my childhood was sexy. Thank you very much.
Okay, hey Rob. So Halloween's
At
coming
least
up.
so my uncle says. Oh! Ow!
Hey, I love all the sexy Velma
No,
Dinkley
it's-
outfits.
Yep, I'm good with that too.
All right, so
Wait, Velma's. I mean, it makes sense, right?
Because she'd be the one.
She, right. But stormtroopers were not ever meant to be sexy or anything.
just gonna say that, bro. That show kind of changed your opinion of that, though, didn't it?
I know. It's like, well,
2D con had a Star
Let's
Wars.
see.
One, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say burlesque
Oh
show.
yeah.
Oh yeah, those change your opinions all the time.
Yeah. Well, that was it. Was like
Went to one
dark,
of those and
damn.
it changed my opinion.
Yep. All right. Okay. So, Rob, Halloween's coming up Thursday. What are we talking about tonight, Rob?
My lost childhood. We're talking about the games that that made us go boo. Think about it for a minute, you'll get it. Anyway, yeah.
You know, I'm gonna start out because I don't have much to say, but I will
Oh,
say
good.
a lot.
All right.
later.
I'm
sure-
surprised.
I'm sure I'll have a lot to say eventually.
Yeah.
But it depends on how many of these beers I finish. The
All of them.
yeah, I know. Just leave
Where'd
it
that,
alone.
where'd that come from? That come from-
I love that. Just don't touch that fucker.
Yeah, that's
Well, if you're listening to this show expecting a whole lot about gaming, you're
So
gonna get a lot of
no,
nothing.
here's the thing. So games that scare me, or and admittedly, and this is just like I can't believe it'd be anybody's choice at this point. So I hope I'm not robbing anything. But yes, Five Nights at Freddy is pretty freaky.
It is
right?
pretty freaky.
It's got a lot of jump scares and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, I just don't play them. So I don't have a very long list, or really a list at all.
Yeah.
Because I just don't play them. You
Yeah.
know, like I don't want to be jump scared. I mean, granted, in the VR world,
Ooh, well,
it's always gonna jump scare you, but you might be playing like sandwich making, and you still
Yeah.
get a jump scare.
that's right. You turn around, that piece of bologna's behind you.
I'm like, what the hell? So I mean, the closest I come to many scary games is Overcooked 2, where the bread monsters are coming from you. So it's not really scary, but I mean it's in the Halloween theme. So
Well, Larry, I'm similar to you of I don't play scary games because I don't want to be scared. But yet I had 2 games for this that I thought, okay, I could try again because maybe I've matured and been able to, conquer the fear that used to scare me. I thought I would be able to do Doki Doki Literature Club because, I can deal with psychological horror.
That one's come up a few times
Some
in this segment over the years.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff in there has actually made me go, wow, I really should stop playing this because this is really causing me some mental issues that I'm having to deal with.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought because I can handle psychological horror stuff fairly well, but you're fucking with me here.
It's just a quality dating sim.
Yeah. And then
Until it's not.
Then I took a stab back at BioShock 1
Oh, nice.
and realized that I've played BioShock. I've played BioShock or BioShock Infinite, BioShock 2.
Wait, I'm gonna back up. So Doki does bother you.
Oh yeah, Doki Doki does bother me.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Doki Doki bothers me because I was like, I was playing
Alright,
through it
so-
and getting through it was like, this
Probably
is
2 years
some
ago?
problems.
Travis bring up that game
Yes, he did.
on this show for this segment.
Yeah.
The
Halloween
Halloween
game.
segment. And so I played it, and I'm playing it, and I did no real research or anything like that. So I went in it pretty raw, and
That's the way to go with that game.
it is a good plan.
But here's the thing. I saw Markiplier play it. So
You-
I thought I knew what I was
You
getting
knew
myself
you were
into.
doing- And to be honest, like so much of the game is like, no, that's not right. You know, and then it takes a turn, and
it's subtle turns until they decide to just go,
full turn.
yeah. It's little things that are like slightly disturbing that you go, I must have missed something here. And then they're like, hi!
The happy ending is still pretty terrible.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, okay, you know.
But I had a problem with BioShock 1 before of just how they would make everything where there are points where things just suddenly go black. You can't see anything. And then there's noises off in the background and whatnot. Thought maybe not playing it with headphones on, maybe, setting the brightness up a little higher might work, be able to actually get to play the game. No, they don't care. And that I still resorted to my standby, which I had back maybe about 7 to 10 years ago, where the lights go out and there's giggling noises and people scurrying around. Just throw fireballs everywhere. Hopefully I can light someone up and then have light so that way I can then handle the situation like a rational adult.
After I burn everybody.
Hey, I need a torch to be able to see where I need to start swinging this axe or this gun around.
Agreed.
But yet when I can't see anything and I just hear people approaching and laughing and or moving around.
That's always
No, I'm just going to start...
unsettling.
I'm wasting so much mana or plasmid or whatever it is to just throw fireballs everywhere, hoping I light someone on fire so that way I can start handling this.
Yeah.
Not in a panic.
The only thing you did was warm your feet.
Effectively.
All right, Tyler, how about you? What you got?
I got a game I've talked about before, but it's topical because it was just released today
Oh.
on Xbox and now has cross-platform support. So it is a scary game, but it's also a really good game to play with your friends. Now that's cross-platform because it's a good game where you can fuck with your friends as well. So Phasmophobia.
Yes.
I still play this game regularly with my friend Brad, and it is a lot of fun. Basically, the whole premise is you go to a house or a school or whatever the map you choose is, and you have to identify what the ghost is using the equipment available. Now, different things can happen. You get different type of ghosts with different abilities and stuff. Like one that I always thought was interesting is the Raiju, which is a ghost that if it starts hunting you, and you have electric equipment on, it gets to run faster around that towards you. I love watching people play this.
Yes.
The Gokai or whatever, the one that The extra finger?
Yeah. That shows 6 fingers on a handprint, and I'm just like, this is a game where I'd love to watch it, but I know I would never be able to play it.
Because and you can make custom games as well for different rules. One of the ones we like to try to do, even though we kind of fuck it up sometimes, is no evidence. So all the evidence you can use, like you can get like, oh, EF reading of level 5 or whatever. You can't use that. You get nothing. You just have to guess the ghost based on the patterns that they do. And it can be pretty difficult, actually, because some of the ghosts can be very similar.
Aren't there like 15 ghosts?
I can't remember the total. It's like 20 or something like that. But like the Banshee will only hunt if you're in a group of 1 person.
Right.
So like you could literally be walking around the ghost and the ghost is still just going after your friend. So, but it's a lot of fun, and like they have the cursed objects in the game that you can use like to mess with your friends, because you can wish for things with a monkey's paw, but it can also bite you in the ass. You can.
I would assume the monkey paw would.
It always does. The atmospherics in the game are great too.
Oh, yeah.
And
So you know this game?
The odds of you
It was
actually...
released today. How does everybody know?
No. The game.
came out in 2020
Yeah.
on the PC.
Oh.
Now it was just released today for Xbox.
With crossplay.
Oh.
With the crossplay.
So you can play
Okay.
against
I
PC
think
players
it's,
on the Xbox.
I think it's just Xbox. I can't remember if it's also the PlayStation.
It's not PlayStation, because I've looked.
Well, it would have been
But I
today.
assume on the Switch.
No.
Yeah, but no, it's a lot of fun.
What do you mean it has to be on the Switch?
It is one of those games too. You have to. It's best to play with someone who does know the game, and you have to give it a few tries first before it's fun. Because when Brad tried to get me to first play, I was like, I am fucking bored. I don't know what's happening. But once I started understanding the way it goes, it's like, okay, this is a lot more fun. And again, just trying to kill your friends is fun.
It's always fun.
Oh, and make sure to take a picture of the body so that way you can submit it for insurance.
Of course.
Because if you don't, you don't get any money for your friends dying. So you might as well at least take a picture of their shame. So
That's
that way,
right. Of their shame. Yes, thank you.
One tip, if you do want to kill your friends, the best way to do it is if you have the music box on the level, you stand outside the door, you start playing it, you throw it to the ground while it's playing, instantly start the hunt, but you're outside, so you're safe.
I will mention. I think I mentioned it before. It's an older game, so maybe we got some newer viewers or that. Phantasmagoria is pretty intense.
Yeah, it is.
It's one of the first sort of. It's a pretty extensive motion capture game.
Yeah.
And I mean, in the end, it's a point and click, right?
Yeah.
But it really does a nice job of building and delivering an ending.
And it has a good atmosphere. I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, it all hangs together well. It plays very well. So
Yeah, it's a good one. But it truly caught me off guard. once it got to a certain point, it caught me off guard. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? What?
It gets rough.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna actually do 2 here. I'm gonna do one that I think actually was one that you wouldn't play in the dark. Resident Evil on the PlayStation. It's set such a nice, just the sounds, and again you have to remember this is the early days of doing that. The scenery, the jump scares in it. If you played that in a dark room, it was kind of. Yeah. Thank you for its time. It was.
Does it still hold up? See, like Phantasmagoria still holds up.
Yeah, no.
man. It still
Resident
holds.
Evil still holds up. The graphics are a little dated, but the gameplay and the overall atmosphere it sets is still pretty freaking
I
solid.
didn't get into Resident Evil until the second one, actually. And
Which
even
is also a big thing.
very good one. But again, specifically the sound. Yes, the sound was very good in those games.
The
The
audio.
fire and stuff in the buildings, like
Yeah.
especially in the first one where we start off with the car crash.
Uh-huh.
It's so good, and right away the fucking zombies coming right at you.
Uh-huh.
Like it's Leon.
wasn't there in there that they had during the loading screens where like the door opens?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes zombies would come up and get you.
Yep.
So therefore, you couldn't just like put it down, answer something while there was
Nope.
a loading screen. You needed to be paying attention.
Uh-huh. All right, so Rob, I'm going to ask you if you remember. So let's jump back a little bit. So the scary games have been around for a while, but in all honesty, early video games, they didn't do a lot with scares. They really
I
did.
mean, it's tough. I mean, it is spooky, or at
Hey!
least let's call it horror theme. Like Haunted House was a horror theme, right? You know, but it wasn't particularly scary. The graphics weren't real enough and all that. But it was still fun.
It was fun, but it wasn't like oh my god, this is kind of creepy. Rescue on Fractellus.
Oh my god, yeah.
Thank you.
Never that fucking alien banging on your window made me jump every time.
So this was like what year was that?
Oh, it was in the 80s because it was
it was like mid 80s.
It was when LucasArts.
I'm guessing it's 64 game?
Awesome stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Rescue on Fractellus.
There was a remake of it, by the way, that you can get on the PC.
Yeah, what year was that? That was a like Rob said. It's just so you're rescuing people, and one time an alien just yeah, it does freak you out because it's a jump scare, and it's an early jump scare. I mean, this was when games didn't do a lot of that kind of shit. So
that jump scare.
Yeah. Is it the guy?
That jump scare.
It makes this bunk, bunk, bunk noise.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just
Yeah, and it was completely out of the so it was not bad. But I mean, for 85, that was kind of scary. So
Doom was mentioned. Ruler said Doom. By the way, Hydro.
And so. You know, and I guess, and again, we're parsing, right? So there's stuff that's gory, and there's stuff that, but gory stuff doesn't particularly scare me. Like Doom didn't really scare me in the sense of, it was everything was gooey and
but
it would sometimes jump scare. Yeah,
Doom would jump scare.
But there wasn't a lot of
hey John
or Duke Nukem. There was creepy stuff and monsters were coming at you and stuff. But there wasn't this so creepy factor that and I brought this up before. I mean, I had to quit playing Legacy of Kain because I couldn't tolerate it anymore, right? It was like there was so much creepiness but it didn't really scare me. You know what I mean? It didn't. There was no boo factor to it, but it was like this is enough.
Put you in a bad place.
Yeah,
There's games that put you in a bad place.
I was losing humanity playing it, And Doom, I could see where you might start losing humanity or something like that.
That's probably true.
But probably not a lot of boo.
That's how
only when you're like coming around a corner and it's like fuck.
Larry, that's the same way I feel when I played Doki Doki. I'm like, oh, I'm going the wrong way. And then when you do in BioShock 2, when I was playing that, and you start harvesting the little girls, I started just feeling like something in me was being ripped.
Well, I mean, that was the Legacy of Kain, and I talked about this on a podcast a million years ago. We've been doing this so long. That everywhere you went, there were people chained to the walls, basically waiting for you. So, because you're a vampire, and so you can feed on them, right? And they're just sitting there begging, let me go, don't eat me, they're just begging, and you just kill them, and it was just
you didn't have to, Larry.
I mean,
I look forward to it.
I tried to avoid it, but I couldn't also free them either. Like I couldn't walk up and cut their chains and let them go, which would have been a nice additive. Like if I was full health, I could let some of them go.
No, you gotta save that stuff for later.
But it would have made me feel good, Hey,
and I was like, I'm doing my first Renegade run on Mass Effect because I told Kim, create me a character and tell me how to run this character. And she went, okay. I think it was... what was it? Dang it, I can't remember the song, but she was like, here, this is the song. I want you to play it like this.
Kumbaya?
No.
Oh. Well, I guessed of the 10 songs available in existence.
Hey, we're heading towards off-topic penalties.
Yes, we are. So let's, Rob, you better bring us back around.
All right, bring it back around. I got two, I guess. The first one's gonna be Dread Halls.
Ooh.
Yeah, and the Oculus.
I forgot about that one.
Oh.
So
Yeah, probably blocked it.
I probably did because that was on the original Oculus.
Yeah, you can still get it. Like,
Yeah, even if you had
You can definitely get it, and I've looked at it several times because
on the development system.
because Phantasmagoria and Seventh Guest were so kind of interesting, and it seemed like this was in this vein, and I thought, oh,
so
okay,
much worse.
so
much.
It
worse.
was.
But you
It
know
was.
what? You know what veered me away from
Another
it,
good one. Use of audio.
and you can, you know what veered me away from it, is all the screenshots felt empty. There wasn't.
Yeah, that's exactly why it's scary as fuck.
It really is because it is empty.
Almost everything that is going on to you is going on in the corner of your vision or slightly
audio.
off.
Audio.
I'm telling you what, you turn the fuck around and you see the little girl fuck that.
No.
So JJ was playing.
Yeah.
The JJ story. So JJ is, we were doing it, I think for Halloween, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we were. So Rob was an early backer of VR.
Whole gang.
The whole gang did. I mean, we all got into VR very early. So when the very first commercial VR sets were being kickstarted, we all kind of
DK kits.
The
Yep.
DK kits.
They were
Yes,
beautiful.
thank you. They were beautiful. I still have all my DKs. So this was one of the first games I think we got on it. It was one of the earlier games we got on it, and it was
Not
Straight
ready.
no,
Not ready.
Not ready for
It was
that.
basic bitch graphics. You were walking around.
Oh,
it
they
was
were
very
basic graphics.
empty, but when something happened, it was really good at catching the edge of your vision, which is one of the scariest things you can do. Something
Well,
horrible
and-
at the
and
edge
of
of your
course-
vision, you turn, maybe it's there. Nah, maybe the first
And
three
then-
times it's not there. But the fourth damn time you turn, that thing is getting your shit, and you are freaking out. So JJ's playing, and he's like, you can tell he's sweating. You know how he gets kind of jittery, and he's like, just
Yeah, I'm sure all the audience
yeah,
knows that.
he yelps a couple of times.
Yes.
He yelps a couple of times. So he stands in there, and then the little girl comes up. He turns and he goes, ah! And that's it. He took the headset off.
He was
sat
done.
down. He said, I'm done. That's it.
There's enough of that.
And it does horror in a way that I think VR
That-
tries to do, and it
So
it
wait,
doesn't
no.
do.
That was on VR.
That's on VR. It's only VR.
And it did horror correct. It
Right.
sounds.
It did. It did.
It does
Because-
scare the crap out of you.
But like you said,
And-
you look at the pictures and it's like, oh, it's kind of big.
Yeah, I mean, it looked empty.
It is.
And it looked empty, and my problem with it wasn't that, like, you might think, oh, there's not much going on. That wasn't my problem with it. It looked lonely.
No.
And like,
No, that feeling of isolation.
is
That
lonely.
feeling of isolation is intentional.
It's
I-
absolutely
and I
true.
don't-
It's lonely.
I didn't want to be lonely.
I don't think playing that game alone is a great idea.
No.
You probably needed a
So wait,
defibrillator.
so I totally nailed the game by looking at the
Yeah, you did. It's doing
It is.
exactly what it's supposed to do.
And I'm not kidding. JJ wasn't wrong. That game is just scary as hell.
Yeah,
It really is.
I forgot.
'Cause I believe- and-
I completely forgot about
And
that.
you know,
want to,
and there's a
don't you?
degree to which it sounds like the game was using Oculus right, because one of its premier features is peripheral vision.
Yes.
You know, so being able to utilize
Yeah,
that.
they did.
And
You're
it wasn't even
As
that
a
amazing
mobile.
at it yet. It's just, it was so there.
But they did it. I mean, they got things right in the corner of your eye.
Yeah.
And you go, ooh, what the fuck was that?
I just
Yeah.
found that Tetris demo kind of creepy too. I don't know why it really creeped me out. I did not like it.
They were rushing, kept popping up and looking at you.
Creepy as hell. But anyway, all right, I got one more, and it's also VR because I think VR.
Oh, all right.
I actually play a lot of games in the dark that have kind of got me, but I've mentioned them before. So this is one too. Robo Recall, and it's not scary throughout most of the game. It's the beginning that utterly hoses you up.
Okay.
And it is. I actually did take off the headset. I said, because Darlene said I screamed. Darlene's like, what the hell? Because I screamed out loud. So you're.
All right, hold on.
Come Come on, man.
He's dying on this beer over here. What's
Not
wrong
good?
with it?
Juicy.
It's juicy.
All right, sorry. Go
The
ahead.
real horror is that beer.
It's juicy.
So, Robo Recall at the beginning. This is in VR. You start, and you can't move. But you know you can look around. You're looking into a store window, and there's TVs in the store window, right? And it's just covering the news. They're just talking, and a couple of robots kind of walk up, slightly in front of you, but another one to the side. And an emergency news flash comes on that the robots have gone crazy in District 3.
Well, and they turn and look at you.
And it's going.
Oh, sorry.
So anyway,
Experience this.
it's going on, and then the robots go, "That's terrible. I would never harm a human being." And then some more pop up, and they're all looking at the screen. There's like 8 to 10 of them, like looking at the screen, going, "This is terrible. This is the worst thing I've ever heard. I cannot believe anyone would do that to a human being." And then like the screen flashes a little bit, and then they just stop for a second, and they all turn around and look right at you and jump. Fuck that! That I wonder how many people died because of that game. It is like one of the most realistic like games. Like just during that part, it's nearly photorealistic. It really feels like you're just there with it. And
Yeah,
thank you, no.
The Oculus
Scary.
managed to immerse in a way that a lot of us have hoped for and didn't think would happen. And
I've been
and
hoping since the Victor Max.
even though you're missing a lot of other senses with it, it does such a good job with its visuals that it really can elicit a lot of responses.
it can.
Yeah.
It does some things really right, and it's worth it. It's always like people thought, oh, it's going to take over the whole market. No, it's its own thing.
It's
But-
its own thing and it's specific, and I feel like it's perfectly reasonable to have like an Oculus and another console.
Well, of
probably
course,
the
yeah.
Switch.
You should.
Probably the Switch.
Probably.
It should always be the Switch.
All right. So, next week's Beer Court.
Next week is Beer Court.
We got a little time off where Guys Games of Beer is not on the road. Yes. Woo.
So if you enjoyed our international tour, contact the venues and the promoters and let them know. And
That you want to see us back.
And maybe we will be.
Good
You should
chance.
say those guys are worth a cool $1 million.
No, say, God, whatever they cost, make sure you pay it to have them out.
Yeah,
For the love of
because-
God.
Because,
Hey, if I don't have to worry about bills and or whatever,
He'll actually
I'll
come.
be able to come more because, hey, I may be working in a good job that's actually paying me decently for 3 years now, but yet I still got a lot of bills and debt to pay, and I can't come out to all of them. So,
Guys, Games of Beer is a huge deficit for everybody involved.
hey, if,
Yeah, we do love coming out. So,
we should
but
have that.
it just if it was something that you found valuable and you saw us out at an event, just let that con know.
Our operators are standing by at 1-800.
hey, they should,
For
get-
just 55 cents a day.
Yes.
they should get
Yeah,
rooms.
You can support
You do
They
a
should
a
get
sustained
G2B
donation.
member.
They should
Here,
get
let's
their
spend it on
rooms
beer.
comped.
Look for our Patreon page.
That would be nice.
We don't have.
Which we don't have.
All right, hey, so, guys, next week's Beer Court.
I said look for it. I didn't say they find it.
Larry, do we still have a special beer for next week for Beer Court?
Well, it keeps getting pushed back and pushed back. And,
Not anymore.
Well, now I
It's
drink
in there.
No, I still have
Oh,
them.
no,
I
mind.
still
We
have
have
them.
it.
I still have the special beer for the guys because we already tried it.
Yeah, we did.
We
But
already
these guys,
did a little
these
bit.
guys have got to try it.
What was it? Lafayette?
It's a Latvian,
Lafayette?
No.
No.
Latvian?
Latvia?
Lafayette. But what would
Lafayette.
Lafayette?
Lafayette?
Lafayette.
Lafayette?
Well, whatever.
Lithuanian!
Lithuanian
Why don't you
farmhouse.
say Lithuanian?
Lithuanian farmhouse.
Farmhouse.
No, I had a few people.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I had to get there. So it was a lithium farm.
Lithium.
Lithuania.
There's a lithium ion beer. And let me tell you, we're all dying. Everybody dies on Guys Games
My
and
God!
Beer.
Somehow they balance it correctly.
told I might
so
need to
you
get
would drink
lithium in
lithium and not die. It's amazing. No, it's not that.
No, it's a Lithuanian farmhouse ale.
Lithuanian farm ale, which we have tried, and we did a short beer court on at Gamehole Con, but we were so blown away by it that, and more importantly, we were gifted a few cans.
Yeah, because they only make it once a year.
Right, they only make
and you can only get it
More
at this
importantly-
and you can only get it at this one Lithuanian festival.
Right, there was a very limited supply, and we were gifted some, and we thought, you know what? Even though we have tried, a few of us have tried it, we would bring it back to the people that could not be there that day and let them try it because it was one of the most unusual beers I've ever tried.
It was. I'm going to agree with you. It's probably the most unusual beer we've ever had.
Hey, that's
I don't want to taint it. Good, bad. I'm just
Unusual.
gonna say it's the most
Unusual.
unusual beer.
Hey, that was just kind of like when I went axe throwing and brought the after dinner mix. I
Exactly.
thought you guys should try this beer. 'cause
Something so unusual.
I thought it was interesting, but yet I was like, okay, this is unusual. I'm bringing Agra.
That was very unusual too. All right,
Sometimes you get unusual.
Yeah, that was Peter who gave us the beer. Dark Nebula Games.
Yeah. So
All right.
next
All right.
week that's gonna be the beer that we're gonna do. So
Yeah, sounds good.
So yeah, you've listened to another episode where the exit is longer than the actual show itself.
Yep.
You can check us out.
I don't think
By
that's
the way,
true.
you know, there's so much value in listening to Guys, Games, and Beer. Like, if you're a podcaster out there, you know how not to do a podcast.
But
If you're a
yet,
gamer, you know how not to play games.
people that
damn.
I have.
Right.
We're not gonna fucking exit or what?
We're gonna exit. We're
God
gonna
damn,
exit.
we gotta exit here. All right. Anyway,
Pull out. Pull out.
pull out. This is every episode brought to you by
Stay
Lionheart
on
Racing.
target.
All the joys of fucking racing without the rubber hot dogs. You can check us out www.guysgamesandbeer.net. If you're interested in checking out the Guys Games and Beer support group and checking out the dankest memes and Memetology by Dallas, Master of Memetology, you can go to www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer. You can also check us out at youtube.com/guysgamesandbeer. And if you're listening to this on any of the podcasting places, you are getting a much better version of this that edited out the beginning where we forgot to turn on the sound. By we, I mean me. Damn it. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Later on.